There are lots of wonderful evidences for God's existence.
There are lots of wonderful evidences for God's existence.
In the context of the God discussion, I think it is a ridiculous claim to suggest that there is no evidence for God. Certain teleological arguments for God's existence, like the fine-tuning argument, you might say that the constant of the strength of the strong nuclear force is evidence for God. Now, does this make God's existence more likely true than false? Does it make God more likely to exist than not exist? No. But does it make him more likely to exist than without that consideration? I think yes, at least marginally. And so to say there's absolutely no evidence in favor of God, I think is a mistake. But I kind of understand the mindset of somebody who says that. I think what they mean to say is that they've never heard any consideration that has made them go, yeah, that establishes God's existence, in the way that they might look at a scientific explanation for something. There are lots of wonderful evidences for God's existence. I just don't think they're powerful enough to push me into the plus 50% boundary.
The evidence might not be sufficient on its own, like you were saying, to get you over that 50% mark or whatever percent mark you want to put it at. But you could nevertheless have some evidence that might increase your credence a little bit. Like you said, the numbers you gave were like from 2 to 3%. And I think that that's right. You can still have some evidence, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got sufficient evidence for the existence of God.
Though I do have immense respect and admiration for Alex, I'm not quite sure I can adopt that flight of fancy, old chap. I'm curious as to the family's thoughts on that one. Now let me get hip with it here. The evidence might not be sufficient to get you over that 50% mark, and you can still have some evidence, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have sufficient evidence for God? What?
What?
Again, I'll ask the family, where's your percentage at these days?